All right, welcome back to Mind and Magic. Today we're going to talk about reality, or I should rather say your experience of reality. And that would consist of your five senses. Your five senses are the only sensory input that you have of this reality. Without your five senses, you would be in silent darkness without any external stimuli whatsoever, and only your thoughts to keep you company. And so your five senses are how you experience this reality for the most part. If you don't see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, or touch it, then it's likely not part of your reality. So why then, when you're performing magic to try to manifest something into your reality, would you only use one of those senses and not all five? We're told we need to visualize that which we are manifesting. And most people would take that as trying to picture it in your mind. But to me, visualization is using all five senses, not just your internal mind's eye. I need to see it, hear it, smell it, touch it, and yes, even taste it, provided that it's not too gross. And even then, I'll do my best to internalize what it would taste like. And that is the proper way to visualize. And you'll hear people, even magicians, who will say that you cannot manifest using visualization. All visualization is just wishful thinking. And by their definition of visualization, they're correct, because they're not using all five senses. All right, so here is a pentagram. Most of you are familiar with this symbol. Many of you do the LBRP every day. But what does it symbolize? If you ask most people will say it's evil, it's of the devil, it's pagan. Those people are opposing this symbol to another symbol, the cross. It immediately gets religious. But we typically know this in magic as being representative of elements, including spirit. And we use this symbol in our rituals to both banish and invoke the elements. But like many symbols, the pentagram represents so much more. In fact, it represents your reality, or at least your experience of reality. That is to say, your five senses. The elements are the building blocks of reality. Your five senses are reality, your experience of reality. So it only stands to reason then that if you want to manifest something into reality, you must put it through your senses that are your reality. And remember, magic as it pertains to manifestation is largely getting an instruction into your subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind communicates through images, symbolism, feelings. So what better way to get that idea across to your subconscious mind than to put what you want to manifest through your five senses? Visualize seeing it, hearing it, smelling it, tasting it, touching it. Because that is reality. That is physicality. When you do this, it communicates to your subconscious to manifest it into reality. Because in order for it to have those properties, it has to be made real. You won't be able to see it, hear it, touch it, taste it, feel it without it being real. So it's a clear cue to the subconscious to make it real. Back to the pentagram. It has 5 points, one for each of the senses. That much should be obvious by now. And I want you to think of it like that from now on as well. That it be a reminder when you're doing your LBRP to utilize all 5 of your senses in your magical ritual or operation, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, and see just how much that impacts your practice. But the sacred geometry of it, when we're dealing with points, it takes 3 points for something to reside in 3D space as a 2-dimensional object. 3 points creates a triangle. It is the first plane of manifestation. It creates a plane. It takes another point, a fourth point, to actually make something three-dimensional. Now you have a solid object in three-dimensional space. And a fifth point added puts things in motion. A fifth point represents movement, animation, setting it in motion with that fifth point. So you have to understand that when we're manifesting something, what is it that we're actually doing? We're moving something from the astral down into physicality, into the real world, which may or may not solely be your five senses. There's plenty of debate on that. But there's little to no debate of your senses being your experience of reality. So we signal to the subconscious by using our five senses, which is our experience of reality, to move it from the astral plane into our experience of waking reality. It's so simple, yet this is going to be a game changer for so many people. And I've talked about it before, but I don't know if I've explained it quite as well as I could have. So this is the clarification right here, that when you hear the instruction to visualize something, it does not mean just only internal vision. It means utilizing all five of your senses and holding that for a duration of time, as long as you can, as clearly as you can, to, one, move it from the astral into reality, but also to get the instruction into the subconscious. You don't just visualize something for 5-10 seconds and you're done. You want to do it for as many minutes as you can muster. And I know some people are better at it than others. There are some people who are just terrible at visualization, and there are others who can't do it at all, in which case it's going to take time and practice. But if you're having difficulty visualizing it, maybe you're better at the other four senses, and maybe better at internalizing them over sight. All the other elements of your ritual will remain the same. You're still going to want to practice inside of a sacred circle, do your preliminary rites, etc. But I will say this, that many times using your five senses alone in visualizations inside of your circle can be enough to manifest things. It's that powerful. Now, not every time, but a lot of times. So in my humble opinion, it's worth it to just do the extra work, preliminary rites, etc. Unless you're really in a pinch and pressed for time, or even out and about and can't do something until you get back home in your temple. This is something that you can do while on the go, if need be, depending on if the situation calls for it. Also keep in mind that there are many things that just because our senses don't pick it up doesn't mean it's not real. Example would be carbon monoxide or radon gas. You can't see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, but it's real and it will kill you all the same. So there are many realities outside of our experience of reality, including the astral, which normally we're not able to experience unless we're either dreaming, and if you want to control it, you need to lucid dream or astral travel. But in normal waking life, we don't perceive the astral plane. But when we visualize, we are able to access that. And now with using five senses instead of just one, we're now at 100% instead of just 20%. And look, there are many people who see and hear things that aren't there that we can't see and hear. People with dementia or schizophrenia, seeing things that none of us can see, hearing voices that none of us can hear. And even though we can't perceive it, it's very, very real to them because it is encompassed within their five senses, which is their entire experience of reality. So there are certainly things that exist beyond our five senses, but we have to use what we got. I really think this is going to help a lot of people out. It may even blow a mind or two of a few of you listening, especially on just how simple and obvious it should be. A lot of people talk about visualization, and a lot of people talk about manifestation. But what I never hear is anyone talking about utilizing all five senses involved with that. And then other people go around saying visualization doesn't work. You just can't visualize something into existence. Well, not when you're using only one of your five senses. No, probably not. And now it makes sense why. So that'll about do it for today. I hope you found this informative. Like and share the video. It really helps the channel out with the algorithm. Visit mindandmagic.com for programs, merch, and more. Social media links will be on the screen momentarily, and I will see you next time. Take care.